Namaste yogis, this is Stephen from YogaWorks and I have the pleasure to welcome you to your 4-week Start to Yoga beginner series. You might be completely new to the practice or you might be willing to go back to the basics a little bit. It doesn't really matter. We're going to be going over all the basics that go into a regular yoga flow practice from the very start. So I'm going to assume you have no idea how any of this works and you're willing to learn, which is a good start. This session, the first one here, is called Showing Up, which in my opinion is really half the work. Just the fact that you are here right now means that you have clearly indicated you are interested in growing your own potential, in taking care of your own mental and physical health and well-being, and that you are ready to get started. So congratulations and let's get going. There's going to be a couple of elements that are really important right from the start, and one of them is you're going to have to get back to this regularly. So this is going to take a lot of repetition and consistency. None of this will be clear after a single session, even after a couple of sessions, but as you keep coming back, more and more of the puzzle pieces will fall into place and you'll get a clearer idea of how a typical yoga session works and how it might make you feel afterwards. The second thing, which is really important right from the start, is do not compare. When you are immersed in your own practice, you will notice everything is fine. But suddenly when you start to compare with somebody else that maybe you've seen on social media, some pictures, or maybe even my practice that you see on the screen, you're going to start noticing your practice is very different from that of everybody else around you. And that is exactly how it should be. Nobody else has the exact same history as you have, movement patterns, dimensions and proportions. So make this practice your own, and at any time feel free to take a break, skip something, adapt something, because our purpose in yoga is to feel good. We want to maximize the potential that we have physically, mentally, energetically, even emotionally, to become better human beings, to help us in whatever we face in daily life. And getting injured or frustrated in the process does not contribute to that, so that's not what we'll be focusing on. We are teaching the vinyasa flow practice mainly in these sessions here, and there's two main elements that are really important. One is the breath. We're going to be cueing a lot, and when a vinyasa teacher or yoga teacher says breathe, they don't just mean inhale and exhale, they mean slow down the breath and become a little bit more conscious of it. And we're going to be linking this breath to our movement so that we create a rhythmic flow, a rhythmic pattern that can take us through our practice. So those two elements combined, that is usually what is implied in a vinyasa flow practice. We're not going to be moving fast, but sometimes we'll move a little bit continuously, a nice and dynamic, physically active flow, and then at the end we should feel nice and relaxed, hopefully. Let's see how it goes. So right off the start, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the breath that I introduced briefly. And the breath that we're using most in these yoga practices is called Ujjayi breath. A translation of this would be victorious breath. And this is a breath that sort of fills up your whole lung capacity. Remember, there's a front and a back, a side and the two sides here, and then a top and a bottom. So three-dimensional breathing. And there's an extra element which you may not be used to, which is a slight contraction at the back of the throat. So you can compare this to a sigh. Let's do this together. Inhale slowly. And then sigh the breath out through your mouth. You all know how to do this. It could even feel like a nice little relaxing breath. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, sigh the breath out through the mouth. Now the next time we'll do this again, but we're going to try and sigh with the mouth closed. All the rest stays the same. Let's go. Inhale. Keep the mouth closed, sigh internally. Again, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose with the sighing sound in the throat. Now see if you can make that sound on the inhale as well. It's going to be a little bit harder on the inhale. If you only manage to exhale, then that's okay for now. So see how it goes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, feel the breath pass at the back of the throat. Let's do one more, inhale. Exhale. Then release the tension at the back of the throat. So what this breath, the Ujjayi breath, allows us to do is to time the movements of the breath to make it slower, and also to align it with our physical movements. And secondly, it has a very relaxing, calming effect on your nervous system that you might have noticed even after a couple of rounds, or hopefully you'll notice more by the end of this session. Nice. Now I want to introduce another pose to you, which is child's pose. This is really your home in yoga. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see it better. And all you're going to do is sit back on the heels, open the knees slightly apart, and then just fold forward with your chest over the thighs, and the arms can either reach back or forward. And in the case your head doesn't seem to go quite as low as the mat, then just take something, a yoga block, a fat book, a blanket, whatever, and place it under the forehead. So this should feel nice and relaxing. A little moment away from this busy world, all the challenges that form part of your life. And this is also a pose that you can come into at any time when things get a little bit intense, when you feel that you need a break, a little deeper breath. Then you can always come into child's pose, even if the whole rest of the world is continuing with their yoga practice and you do child's pose. There's nothing wrong with this. So just remember this pose. This is your home. You can always come back to it at any time. Any yoga teacher will probably be happy that you are in tune with how you feel and you're not pushing yourself too hard. That will be counterproductive. Nice. And then slowly come up. I forgot to say I'm sitting like this on my heels. If that's really uncomfortable, you can also sit cross-legged like this. This is perfect. Or if you feel your knees are a little bit too high, then just sit up onto a pillow, a folded blanket, or whatever you've got. Nice. So there's different ways of sitting that we use in yoga. In the course of these 4 sessions, we'll introduce several more. Nice. Now let's start our first little flow, which is linking our breath to our movements. First one, really simple. On the exhale, draw your belly back and round your spine. Tuck the chin down a little bit so you can look down towards your belly button. And then on the inhale, lift the chest, roll your shoulders back, lift the chest and the chin slightly. And exhale, round and look down. Now really add the breath to the movement. Inhale, synchronize them, the whole breath to lift the chest, and exhale the whole out breath to round and feel the back stretch behind you. Inhale, this is a front body stretch, the belly, the chest are lifting, expanding. Exhale, shoulders forward, look down, stretch your back. Inhale, arch your back, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Exhale to round, and just feel what a calming effect this has, your breath, your movement, and no other worries at the moment. Inhale. Exhale, can you focus fully on this movement we're doing right now? Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. And then settle in the middle. Nice. Now place your left hand to the left hip, to the side of the left hip. I'm not mirroring you, so just figure out which one is your left side. You've got a 50% chance. Lift the right arm up and then just do a little side bend over to the left. Let's swap to second side, right hand next to right hip, left arm, take it over. We're not trying to go very far, we're just trying to feel a nice length in the side body. And I will add the breath again. Inhale up, both arms. Exhale left. If you can, do the Ujjayi breath again. Inhale. Exhale. It's hard for me to demonstrate it while I'm instructing you, but try to get that sound at the back of the throat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale to the right. One more on each side. Focus on the breath and the movement together. Inhale. Exhale left. One more inhale. And exhale right. Again, settle in the middle. We've done 2 spinal movements, forward and back, which is flexion extension. We've done side bends. Now we'll do the third one, which is a gentle twist. For this, place your left hand behind you and the right hand can go outside your thigh or your knee or even in front of you, doesn't matter. And now right hand behind you, left hand outside the right knee somewhere. Twist to the right. And with the breath, inhale through center, exhale, twist to the left. Just see how far you go, doesn't matter. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Let the arms help a bit, but keep a strong feeling in the core as well. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale right. Now try get that Ujjayi breathing again. Slight constriction, back of the throat. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. And then settle in the middle. Just feel what a difference this makes. We've done a little bit of breath work, we've done a little bit of movement, spinal movements linked to the breath. If you don't have a lot of time, that's a really good warm-up to do for 10 minutes in the morning or after a busy day at work, whenever you have a moment for your practice. Nice. And then let's come to standing. In yoga, when we stand, we call it mountain pose. So I'm going to come to the front of the mat. And first of all, have a look at the feet and really ground the feet down like you're growing roots down into the mat through them. And then rotate both feet externally, which means the right foot gonna rotate clockwise, the left foot counterclockwise, like you're screwing your legs, your feet into the ground. And this applies some nice tension all the way up the legs, all the way to the outer hips. Can you feel that? So you're rooting down, maximize the surface underneath your feet with the ground, and then screw the legs into the mat, which will give you an enormous feeling of power and steadiness. And then just about 20-25% engage the glutes and your abdominal muscles. So you're being held from the front and the back, which will automatically correct your posture. And then from there, lift the chest a little bit, draw the shoulders back ever so slightly, and lift the crown of the head up. Activate even the arms, even the fingertips. This is mountain pose. Tadasana is the name in Sanskrit, which you will definitely come across in your yoga classes. Just feel this, your head is in the sky, your feet are rooted down, and you're firmly present in the middle of all of this. It seems like a simple pose, but if we were to hold this for a couple more minutes, you would definitely warm up and start to feel some intensity. Nice. Keep all of this the same. Inhale, lift the arms up. This is the same pose, but now we've lifted the arms, we're adding a bit of intensity for the shoulders. And now just watch that your posture doesn't become all extended with your back arch too much, so keep the front ribs in, stretch up to the fingertips, and still rotate the feet down like we've discussed in the middle, in the beginning. And then from here, exhale, just the arms down. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, hands next to your hips. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hands next to the hips. So this is starting position, mountain pose. Sometimes it also starts with the hands together in prayer position in front of your chest. Same pose, the rest doesn't change. Nice. Here we go, we'll add on something. Inhale, lift the arms. Reach up without going into a back bend, without arching your back. So your feet pressing down, your fingertips are lifting up, and your core is steady in the middle of all of this. And now on the exhale, open the arms wide, bend your knees as you go down, and fold forward over your legs. So this is our next pose in our little sequence. It's called Uttanasana, or forward fold. And this is important, don't be in a rush to straighten the legs, because there's a lot of tension in the back of the legs, probably because of a lot of sitting or posture, and we don't want to go too deeply, too quickly. So I always like to bend my knees, actually. It feels much, much better. And it will give the lower back space to lengthen as well. You'll feel that. Now, we're going to come into a different version of this forward fold. It's sometimes called a half lift or a flat back. It works like this. Press your hands onto the shins and lift your chest to about hip height, maybe even a little bit higher. Now pull the belly a bit back and root down through the legs. Now you're trying to unround the spine and lengthen it forward. You might even look forward just to accentuate that for a moment, but then after that you can just keep the neck relaxed and look down straight under your face. This is flat back or halfway lift. Exhale, come back to the forward fold. It's a good idea to bend your knees. Let the head hang. Let's repeat that. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. So your spine can gently round and let the spine relax down from the hips. One more time. Inhale, flat back. You're pushing the shins away with your hands. Your chest lengthens forward. Exhale to drape yourself over the legs. Feel gentle stretch, hamstrings, glutes, maybe lower back. From here, we're going to go all the way up. So sweep your arms up, reach up to the sky. And place the palms together. Exhale, come back to the mountain pose where we started. So that's our little sequence. Your first one in your vinyasa flow class. So let's go through it a couple of times with the breath. Here we go. Inhale to rise. Keep your feet firmly rooted down. Exhale to fold forward. Bend your knees. Inhale. Can you still get that sighing sound, the ujjayi breath, even as we move through this? I know it's a lot to think about. And exhale, forward fold over the legs again. Inhale, let's go all the way up. Push your feet down. Exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. This is called a half sun salutation. A really nice way to start warming up and getting into a nice rhythm of breath and movement. Inhale, let's do it again. Stretch up through the fingers. Exhale to dive forward, hang down. Inhale, halfway lift. Stretch the chest forward. How is your breath? Exhale, sigh. Inhale, go all the way up. Try and make this sound. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale. Use the whole inhale to stretch your arms up. Use the whole exhale to cascade forward and down. Inhale, expand, lengthen the chest forward, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees and soften, sigh. Inhale, let's rise, go all the way up, stretch up through the ring finger. Exhale, hands come together, palms to in front of the heart. Do 2 more. Inhale, feel the rhythm you are creating with your body, with your breath. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Inhale, enjoy every breath, enjoy what your body is capable of. Exhale to fold, use your belly to pull yourself down, as it were. Inhale, we rise, push your feet down and stretch all the way up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. 1 more, if you like, for this one, close the eyes and notice. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees, sigh. Inhale, go all the way up, find space. Exhale, hands to the heart center. So that's our first little sequence, the half sun salutation. From here, just come to lie on your belly. We'll look into another pose which is called downward facing dog. I'm sure you've heard of it. And it's a staple in pretty much all yoga classes. So you're lying down, you can untuck the toes for now. So you're on the tops of the feet. Now the tendency is to put the hands under the shoulders. It's not wrong, but to know the distance for a down dog, we're going to be sliding the hands quite a bit back. And if you look back, my wrists are under the elbows and my fingertips are more or less next to the middle of the chest or the front of the armpit, you could say. Nice, so keep that. Tuck your toes under. Now move the hips back to the heels just for a moment. Don't change the hands. And now check your hands for a moment. Spread your fingers wide on the mat. And you can either have index fingers forward, middle fingers forward, or actually what I prefer is sort of the peace sign facing straight forward to the front of the mat. You'll figure it out as you do this more, but keep the distance that we've just measured. Don't move the feet, don't move the hands, and then just lift your hips up. Place your feet hip distance away from each other, and then bend your knees, and with your hands push down strongly. So you're pressing the mat down with your hands, as it were. And then use this to really lengthen the spine with the hips. Lift up, lift the sit bones up, and then stretch the hips up and away from the hands. Create this long diagonal line. Take a few moments here, broaden your upper back and press the thighs back. If it feels good, you can start to straighten the legs a little bit more. Just check how it feels. And don't worry where your heels go. They might come all the way down, but they might be really high up or anything in between, which is totally fine. If you start to feel your back needs to round for you to straighten your legs, it's not worth it. Rather keep the knees bent and keep the length in the spine rather. So just experience this a few moments. You'll notice it's a hard pose. There's a lot of intensity on arm and shoulder strength, core work, stretch at the back of the legs, and then just place the knees down and sit back for a moment. So that's our downward facing dog. We'll be repeating this more and more in the next classes, but for now I just want to give you a first introduction. Lie on your belly again. From the hands under shoulders, slide the hands further back, just like we did. Wrists under your elbows. Tuck your toes. Move the hips back. And come into downward facing dog again. Again, bend the knees, press the arms longer, the side of the body longer. Slide the hips up and back. From here, inhale, just shift your shoulders forward until they come over the wrists. This is plank pose, an amazing core and shoulder strengthening pose, which is accessible for everybody. And if you're like, sorry, no, it's not accessible for me, then just lower your knees down until you build up that engagement, the core strength, the shoulder strength. And you'll notice at some point you'll be able to lift the knees. Don't be in a hurry. We've got time. This might be your first class ever. So let's enjoy the process. This is plank pose. From here, we can go straight back into down dog as you move the hips up and back. Maybe bend the knees a little bit so you've got space in the spine and the lower back. Lift the hips up and back. Inhale to plank, shift forward. Feel how the core needs to work harder here. And then exhale to move your weight back, downward facing dog. Well done. From here, just walk the feet forward to the front of the mat. Take a few little steps. There's no rush. Feet hip distance. We're ready for the mountain pose. And then bend your knees and slowly roll up to standing. Nice. So we've got a few more elements. In the beginning it's going to feel really disjointed, but you'll notice more and more in the course of these 4 sessions in the program, we'll be able to put all of this together and gradually everything will fall into place. Don't worry about it. Hands to heart, strong mountain pose. Inhale to reach all the way up, just like we've done before. Exhale to fold forward, use your belly, bend your knees a little bit, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back, press your shins away and stretch the chest forward. From here, it's a little bit different. We're going to add something. Bend your knees, plant the fingertips down, and then take a big step back with your right foot. Big step back. Now notice my right foot is on a little bit on the right side of the mat. Left foot is a bit on the left side. I don't want them behind each other because I'm going to feel terribly unbalanced. So have them about hip distance apart. And let's stay up onto the fingertips for now. And get a feeling of, not of sagging down, of heaviness, but actually of resisting the floor away. Almost if you decide at any time you can release the hands and lift them up, which is a different pose. We'll get into that one. For now, experience this. This is a lunge. It's called a high lunge because the back knee is lifted. But for now, we're keeping the fingertips down. Yes. Also notice what the back heel is doing. Sometimes the heel goes a bit too far back, which often means your stride is a bit short. So you can just wiggle the toes a little bit back. So the heel is more or less above the base of the toes. Nice, let's step forward. Forward fold, relax for a moment. Let the head hang, let the spine be long. Nice, fingertips down, step your left foot a big step back. Again, check, there's a bit of space between the feet. My front knee is bent a lot. And also, I forgot to mention on the first side, we want to get the front shin vertical, so straight above that ankle. Again, you might wiggle that back, the back toes a bit back to get the heel above the ball of the foot, and then really press down with your feet, pull them together a little bit underneath you, and just feel the core power that this generates around the hips, around your center. A moment or two here, you will feel that it could be a big stretch in the front of the back leg, which is great after long periods of sitting, computer work or driving. And again, get that buoyant feeling, almost like at any time you could decide to lift your hands and you're fine. Nice. Step forward, feet hip distance, forward fold, bend your knees. Inhale, rise, go all the way up. Exhale, sigh. Return to the breath. I know it's a lot of information, but do the best you can. Inhale, rise. Exhale, go all the way down, bend your knees. Inhale for flat back, same as what we've been doing. Now exhale, step the right foot back again. This time lower your knee down. This is called low lunge. The back knee is down. There's two options for the back foot. I like to keep the toes tucked under, but you can also untuck and come onto the top of that foot. And then just from here, place both hands on that front knee. That's it. Low lunge. Keep your core a little bit active so the belly moves a little bit back. You're getting a nice stretch at the front of the right hip. Nice, hands down, step forward and fold. Take a moment. Remember, at any time you can go back to child's pose, take a little break and join the session again when you feel ready. Or it's an online class, just press pause and join again when it's time. From here, fingertips down, left foot a big step back. This time left knee down for the low lunge. Back toes tucked under or onto the top of the foot. You can select the one that works best. And then both hands on the front knee to come up into low lunge. As we've done before, a little bit of moving back with the belly. And a nice strong grounding through the feet. Feel that. A moment or two just to experience this pose. So this is how we'll be stepping back from the forward fold to poses like plank or down dog. We'll do that in a moment. But first I want to show you how we step forward, which is a little bit harder than stepping back. Come into downward facing dog from here. Then from down dog, lower both knees down. Now imagine we're stepping the right foot forward, so just lift your right knee. Where the right hand is, step the right foot all the way there. And if you find you need a little bit of extra help, you can always help with the hand to get that foot a good step forward. We want to get all the way back to the front of the mat. Nice. Let's try the other side, downward facing dog. Lower your knees. We're stepping the left foot forward this time, so lift the left knee, lift the left hand and step your left foot where the left hand was just before all the way to the front of the mat. If you find you get stuck halfway, then just help the foot along a little bit with your hand or take a few steps until you're there at the front of the mat. Nice. So now we'll incorporate this into a very simple little flow. Step to the front of the mat. Bend your knees a little bit, roll up to standing. Mountain pose, we're back. This is our starting pose. Inhale, rise. Strong belly as you reach all the way up. Exhale, sigh. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen the chest with a strong belly. Exhale, fingertips down. You can bend your knees. Step your right foot a big step back. So we're in that lunge. The two options here are the high lunge with the back knee lifted or the low lunge. The instructor will normally choose, but you also have a choice if you have another preference, no problem. And then from here, just to down dog. Press your hands down, step the left foot next to the right. Lift the hips up and back. You can still bend your knees, no problem. Nice. Take a deep breath in here. Lower your knees, exhale. Step your right foot forward where the right hand was. And then fingertips down, just lift the back knee up. Inhale here. Exhale, step forward, both feet to the front, knees soft, forward fold. Inhale, come to flat back. Exhale, forward fold again, soften the knees. How's the breath? Inhale, rise, go all the way up, take it in. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, let's go all the way up. Exhale, dive, soften the knees, sigh. Nice, inhale, flat back, press the shins away. Exhale, fingertips down, this time the left foot, a big step back. Keep the knee lifted and stay a little bit strong in the legs and in the core. From here, just step into downward facing dog. If you need to take a few steps to get there, it's not a problem. If you want to bend your knees, then that's great. Inhale here. Exhale, lower your knees to the ground. Then from here, step the left foot forward and press fingertips down, lift the back knee up. Inhale in this lunge. Exhale to step forward and fold. Good. Inhale, reach all the way up, press your feet down. Exhale, hands to the heart center, just where we started. Let's do one more. I'll change something. In case the stepping forward is a little bit easier for you, I'm going to add something that you can try, or you could stay with what we've done. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees, sigh. Movement linked to the breath. Inhale. Find your flow. Exhale, bend your knees. Right foot, a big step back. Keep the right leg strong, even straighten it if you can. From here, step into downward facing dog. Inhale in down dog. Exhale, normally we now lower the knees and step that right foot forward. You can still do that for as long as you need to, that's fine. Or some of you might be ready to lift the heels high. From here, bring the right knee to your chest and step that right foot forward. You can always use a bit of momentum, especially when you're new to this, to swing the right foot a little bit. Or again, if it gets stuck, to just help along with that right hand, no problem. So now that's a quicker way of stepping forward, because as the classes get more to intermediate or advanced level, there won't be these little breaks in between. So I'm just showing you the different options. And then exhale, step right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, press your hands to shin. Exhale, fold over the legs, good. Inhale, let's rise. Go all the way up, take a deep breath. Exhale, sigh, hands to heart. Inhale, second side, here we go. Exhale, all the way down, take your time, there's no rush. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, the fingertips down, step the left foot, a generous step back, all the way to the back of your mat. Strong back leg. From here, hands down, downward facing dog. Inhale in down dog. Exhale, normally we lower the knee, step the left foot forward. It's a bit the easier way if you have a bit of restrictions or you're building up the strength, or lift the heels high and step the left foot forward in 1, 2, 3, however many steps that it takes you to get there, that's fine. Well done. Exhale, step right foot next to the left, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Stretch the chest forward. Exhale, forward fold, soften the knees. Inhale, rise. Take a slow breath in, enjoy this process. Exhale, hands back to your heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Stand tall and feel. Yoga is the science, the technology of improving how our body, our mind, our breath functions. Nice. From here, I want to add 2 more poses, which is you coming from plank, just step back to plank, and then just lower all the way down to your belly. And now we'll have a look at how we get back from our belly to the down dog, which is like this. I'm tucking the toes, hands next to middle of the chest again, like we've done before. I'm sending the hips to the heels, and I'm coming into down dog. Good. From here, inhale to plank. Lower your knees down. Lower the knees down, but without lowering the hips down. We don't want to sag all the way down. So keep the belly strong here. Now try this. Lean a little bit forward with your shoulders and bend your elbows a little bit. And slowly go all the way down. Nice. Let's go back to down dog and try that again. That pose is called chaturanga. This is how we build a lot of arm, tricep, shoulder strength, core strength in our yoga practice. But of course, it's not going to happen from the very first time you do this, so give yourself lots of time. Inhale to plank. Lower your knees. Keep the belly strong. Lean forward with your shoulders. Bend your elbows just a little bit. It's fine. And then as slowly as you can, lower down. Let's do one more. Send the hips back to your heels. Tuck your toes under downward facing dog. Inhale, send your shoulders forward over the wrist plank. This time, if you prefer not to lower the knees down, that's fine. We can slowly lower, same thing. Lean the shoulders forward, bend your elbows, and slowly lower down onto your belly. In the beginning, you might feel like you're propping down a little bit with more force, that's okay. But as you get stronger, you'll be able to slow it down. So the slower, the better. Nice. Now we're all the way down on our belly. The next step is a little back bend where we strengthen the back body. It's called locust pose. Reach your hands back. For now, keep your forehead or your chin down to the mat. And then just lift the arms, feel this. Feel the back of the shoulders. Turn the palms down and reach your fingertips back to your heels. And then lift the head and lift the chest a little bit. This is locust pose, and then if you like, you can also add the legs. So now you're lifting everything away from the mat. You're not going super high. That's not the point here, but we're strengthening the whole back body using the weight of our own body against gravity. Nice. And then slowly lower down. You can make a pillow with your hands. Rest for a moment. Round 2, locust pose. Here we go. Reach your hands back. Chin or forehead to the mat. Lift the arms, the backs of the hands go up, palms facing down. Lift the head, lift the chin, lift the front of the shoulders, lift the chest. You can stay here, or you can also lift the legs, which engages your glutes, your hamstrings. One more deeper breath. Take your time. Exhale, slowly lower, make a pillow with your hands and rest down. This is another great resting pose, one of my favorites. You can always come into any of these resting poses for as long as you need to before joining the rest of the class again. Nice. And then hands next to middle of chest. Tuck toes under, send the hips back, downward facing dog, just like we started. Walk your feet forward to the front. We'll end with 2 more full sun salutations, which include the stepping back and the stepping forward, which you're going to find in a lot of yoga classes, and we can build on from there in the next sessions. So bend your knees, roll up to standing. So last bit of standing work. Place palms together at the heart, a strong mountain pose. Collect your attention from all the corners of your yoga mat and bring it to this place right here. Slow breath in, slow breath out. Then inhale, press your feet down as your arms sweep up. Exhale, sigh, the back of the throat, all the way down. Inhale, flat back. How far can your chest stretch forward? Exhale, the hands come down. Step your right foot a big step back into a lunge. Nice. Down dog is next. So plant your hands. Step the foot, left foot next to the right. can always bend your knees here for as long as you need to. From here, inhale, shift forward to plank pose, so we're integrating different pieces of the puzzle. Lower the knees, keep the belly strong, lean a little bit forward, and then bend your elbows. How slowly can you set your belly and chest down at the same time? Now it's locust pose. We've done this one just now. Reach your fingertips back, palms face down, lift everything up if you can. Lower down, slide the hands a bit further back than your shoulders, tuck toes, come onto the knees, downward facing dog, well done. Inhale in down dog. Exhale, lower the knees, step the right foot forward, or you may have been able to do it in one step, it's both fine. Lift the back knee, come into a strong lunge with the right foot forward. And then exhale, join the left foot next to the right, forward fold. Inhale to flat back, press your shins with the hands. Exhale, use the belly and fold. Inhale, go all the way up. Exhale, bring it back to the heart. This is one side, we'll do one more side and then we'll take it easy for the rest of the class. Here we go, inhale. All the way up. Exhale, all the way down, soften the knees. Inhale, feel the strength in your back as you lift. Exhale, the hands down, the fingertips down, the left foot, a big step back into a lunge. Down dog is next, plant the hands, right foot next to left, and stretch the hips up and back. Inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Make sure you're not sagging down or piking up with the hips. Find a place somewhere in the middle. You can even look back just to check. And with the hands, push the mat away. And then from here, lower the knees. Lean the shoulders a little bit forward. Don't be in a rush. Use the whole out breath to lower yourself down. Belly and chest land at the same time. Locust pose, ultimate back strengthener. Enjoy. And then exhale, hands slide next to middle of chest, toes tuck under, back to the downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the knees, left foot steps forward into a lunge, and when you get there, straighten the right leg, or just step forward into one or two goes, whatever is the case for your body. And then right foot joins the left, forward fold, bend your knees. Inhale, flat back, one more time. Exhale, soften down, belly to thighs. Inhale, rise, go all the way up, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. Close your eyes. Take a few moments to tune in. That's from here. Just bend your knees and sit all the way down. Have your hips more or less the middle of the mat, and then just pull your feet, not as close as you can, but kind of close-ish to your buttocks. And then check that the feet are hip distance apart, so the same distance from the hips is what you have between the feet. Nice. The feet are parallel to each other. From here, keep the feet the same, don't move them, and slowly roll down onto your back. Now check with your hands if you can touch the heels. That's usually a good measure for most bodies. I can't yet, so I'm sliding my heels a little bit closer. They might have moved as you roll down, that's okay. So you're not pulling the heels all the way in, but they're kind of closest to the hips. And then have your hands next to the hips here. I like palms facing up actually, because it opens the front of the shoulders a little bit more. And then all we're going to do is press the feet down to lift the hips up a little bit. Nice. This is called bridge pose. We're going to break these poses down in a lot more detail in one of the next sessions, but for now just use it as a counter pose to all the standing work we've been doing, the shoulder strengthening, the core work. Press your feet down and feel the gentle lift of the hips. And feel how the whole front body is stretching here, the front of the thighs, the front of the hips, the belly, the chest are all rising up. And then really slowly roll your spine and the hips down. Place one hand on the chest, one on the belly. And take a few breaths into this space under your hands. We're not here to punish ourselves and to get more out of this yoga practice. We're here to learn how to feel better. Let's do one more bridge pose. Here we go. Hands, palms face up next to the hips. Push the feet down, lift the hips. Don't try to go as high as you can. Just go until you feel a nice stretch for your body in the front of the hips, the front of the thighs, maybe the belly, maybe the chest. Or maybe a combination of all of these. Feel that the feet can really ground down. And then on the other end of the bridge, you've got the shoulders. You can even wiggle the shoulders a little bit underneath you to get a bit of extra lift in the upper back and the middle back. And then slowly come down. And this time place your feet a bit wider on the edges of the mat is a good measure. And then lower both knees to the right. If you like, you can open the arms wider. Don't worry where the knees end up, just let them do their thing. And then just rest in a simple twist for a moment. Chances are you've just moved through a series of completely new movements and poses. It might have been the very first time. So send yourself a big like, a big thumbs up. Become your own biggest fan. Just for showing up, for trying something new, for investing in your well-being. Well done. Lift the knees, but keep the feet wide on the edges of the mat. And then lower the knees to the left side. Just let them relax wherever they end up. And can you soften the shoulders, relax around the spine. Take a moment to become still, which is ultimately our goal to our yoga practice, is to find a bit more peace and quiet under all the layers of challenge and problems and stress of our daily lives. And inhale, lift the knees back up. Let's go one more time to each side. Lower the knees to the right. Let everything sink down into the mat a little bit heavier. There's no need to push and pull here. Let it be just what it is. Lift the knees back up and lower the knees to the left one last time. Relax the legs, relax the belly. Soften the upper back and the shoulders down. And sometimes our yoga practice is challenging, but overall, by the end of it, we want to feel that this has been a really soothing and healing experience. If it is not, it might mean you have pushed yourself a little bit too hard. You need to back off a little bit. Take your time to take all of this in. you've got the rest of your life to do yoga. It's supposed to be a daily practice, so hopefully you can make this part of your routine, even if it's just a couple of minutes here and there to start with. And then lift the knees back up to center. And then stretch your legs long. Let the heels go a little bit wider than the hips. I like to go towards the corners of the yoga mat and let the feet just flop out wherever they end up. It's okay. And then lie down. And I like to slide the shoulder blades a little bit more underneath the upper back. Open the palms towards the sky. And then just let the whole back body rest heavily onto the earth underneath. Soften your forehead. Relax the jaw and the throat. Let all the muscles around the spine and the belly relax. Melt your shoulders into the mat. And let the arms and legs be heavy. This is our final resting pose called Shavasana. And this is really where you receive all the benefits of your practice by doing as little as possible, physically and mentally. I'm going to keep quiet for a minute or two. And just be here with your body, with sounds that you hear around you, with any thoughts that come and go. Just rest. And slowly start to deepen your breath. Feel the restful state that your body and mind are in, and the easy connection, the feeling of not being separate, which is one of the best benefits of a yoga practice. Gently move your fingers. Move your toes, and then bend your knees and roll over onto your favorite side. You can use your hands to push yourself up into a seated position. And then bring the palms together at the heart center. Keep the eyes closed for a moment. Touch your hands to your forehead, to your heart, and bow yourself on your mat. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this first introductory session. We've got 3 more in this program coming up, so I hope you'll be able to join me soon for the second part, which is where we'll have a look at some of the standing poses in our vinyasa yoga practice, and we'll repeat whatever we've done today and slowly build on from that, so that after the end of the 4th week you can pretty much join any yoga class with confidence. Thank you and see you soon.